So I am learning new things about this 1991 5.0 on a Ford F250 two-wheel drive chassis as the months go, and it's been a little over 11 months, but looks like I discovered another sensor that has been not replaced since factory. It's called the Intake Air Temperature sensor, or as the Haynes puts it, it's sometimes called a air charge temperature sensor, which is what the website's highlighted when I was looking for this part. Anyway, here's the manual that I've been using for a while, and if I go back to the index at the very back, forgive the wind and breezes here, right here it says Intake Air Temperature Sensor 4-24, right up there. So if I turn to this page in this manual, there's a picture on that page that nicely gives the location as to where it's at, which is illustration 15.39, as you can see, if this thing will focus at all. Is it going to? There, that's a little bit better. Anyway, it's on the driver's side of the intake plenum. So let me take you over here, and I'm going to point out with a magnet as to where this is at on the driver's side right here, right near the first fuel injector, between two of them. You see where I'm pointing to? That hole right there is where we're going to be filling back up with a new sensor. So the sensor supposedly helps play the role of how much fuel it calculates the truck's computer to send to the combustion chamber based on the temperature of the air. And there's a thermistor at the end of the mechanism. So this is my factory one that I pulled out. A lot of oil caked on this thing. I seem to find a lot of parts in this truck that were original factory that were just never dealt with. Sorry for the rotation. So that's the Ford emblem. Now this is the one here that I found at Napa. A lot cleaner. And let me show you the terminals for a side-by-side comparison. So, as you know, my factory original is over here on the right. This one's on the left. And as you can see, even the factory grease is still on those terminals on the one on the right. And let me show you the part number right here. What I got off of Napa's website, and they had it in stock. So, before I forget to mention it, to remove the sensor, I actually used a 1-inch deep socket to get it, and I did not have to really use a lot of force to get this off. I just liked the breaker bar because of the maneuvering of going around obstructions, because as you see, the air intake hoses are still there. I didn't bother to take them off to give myself more room, but at any rate, I did move this guy for some more wiggle room back there, which is the one that goes to the air intake box to the engine oil cap. So my plan is I'm gonna put some of this yellow tape on the threads of this new sensor before I put it in there, because if I remember correctly, this yellow tape is oil resistant, and provided that my old sensor is caked with oil, like as you see here, I figure it would be best for me to protect the threads. And then on top of that, my other plan is to, on these new terminals, I am definitely going to put some dielectric grease to make sure those terminals don't corrode over time. And then, before I forget, you see how the shape of this is in respect to the sharp corner right here? Well, let me show you my harness. Even though both the clips are broken off of it, right here. Let me get in closer. Sorry for the shaking here. See that sharp edge right there? That 90 degree above my thumb right here? Kind of. You might not be able to see it too well here. Right there. Turned over a little bit. So, I am not very good at shooting these videos, as you can tell, but the other thing I did do is clean off a little bit around that hole, around the outside, in case there's any oil residue or anything, because we don't want anything going back inside that part of the engine where it's going to detect the air temperature, because that's pretty important. So, at any rate, I just wanted to take a few minutes to show you all that intake air temperature sensor, IAT, or the air charge temperature sensor. Thank you.